Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I've brought you a really wonderful feel-good drama. If you look at the title, it's called My Korean Teacher, released back in 2016. It's actually a Korean-Japanese mixed feel-good drama, and since it fit our channel perfectly, I decided to bring it to you. So without dragging it out, let's jump straight into the story. First up, this young man we're seeing here is our hero, Young One. As his name suggests, he looks really young, like a teenager. But actually he's around 25 years old. So what does he do? In Japan, they sell a lot of Ayurvedic and herbal-related products. He works as a simple sales agent for one such company. Even though it involves a lot of traveling, going up and down to different places, he's content with it, telling himself at least it's a job. But here's the thing about this job. The company is now running at a loss, so they tell him, from next month onwards you won't have a job here. The company's ratings have dropped really low and they're making huge losses. So from next month you have no job here, go find yourself something else, they tell him. Our guy feels terrible and asks, "What are you saying, sir?" They reply, "Yeah, the way things are going, the company will probably have to shut down." So he just sits there feeling really down. Now he has no idea what to do or what work to look for. Actually, our guy is originally from Korea. He came here to Japan from Korea. So he's sitting there worried sick. A coworker of his tells him, "Look, you've still got a month. Within that you'll definitely find some job," and tries to lift his spirits a bit. But still, it's really tough for him. Now do you know who our hero really is? He's the one and only heir of one of the top richest billionaires in all of Korea. He's the only son. But he said he didn't want his father's wealth, didn't want that kind of life, fought with his dad, left Korea, and came here to Japan to do this kind of ordinary job. Nobody knows any of this. He hides it from everyone and works here as just a simple agent. So now this job is gone too. He's thinking about what to do. Going back to his hometown is completely out of the question. So to calm his mind a little, he has a girlfriend. He decides to go see her, thinking it'll comfort him. But when he goes to her house, he gets shock after shock. His girlfriend is secretly seeing another guy behind his back. Something fishy is going on. He's caught her red-handed. He sits her down and questions her, and our guy is boiling with anger. But look at her. She doesn't have any of that fear of being caught. She talks with so much arrogance, behaves so arrogantly. "Now that you've caught me, fine, let's break up, that's all. I was already planning to tell you. You saw it with your own eyes. Okay, let's break up. But before that, do you know who he is? Do you know how wealthy a guy he is? You're just an ordinary sales agent. But he earns many times more than you," she says, basically admitting she's with him for the money. It's really painful for him. So here she insults him terribly. But the thing she has no idea about is that our guy is the only son of one of the biggest billionaires in all of Korea. Not knowing any of that, she humiliates him and speaks like this. Even there, he doesn't say "I'm a big billionaire" or anything. He just listens quietly, says okay, and walks out of there. So once he's out, he calls his mom for some comfort. His mom is lamenting painfully. "Living so far across the country, are you even eating? Are you sleeping properly?" she asks. "Do you know how much I'm suffering? Forget all this, my dear. Just come back to our hometown. You don't have to worry about the business at all. Dad isn't like before. Even if you just stay at home doing nothing, that's enough," she says, trying to change his mind. "Mom, I have no intention of coming back. I have a good job here. I'm earning well. There's no problem at all. I'm really happy," he says, hiding all his worries and struggles, just talking to make his mom feel okay. His mom tries all kinds of emotional appeals, but he just won't listen. So while mother and son are talking like this, his dad is listening from nearby. Right away, mom says, "Your dad's here, will you talk to him? Come on, just say a couple of words to your son," she tells him, but he thinks he's too proud for that. Out of stubbornness, angry that his son didn't listen and went away, he says, "I won't talk, you talk," and storms off all proud. Then mom says, "You know how that man is. He'll act proud, but deep down he really does love you. Now and then he asks about you. He asks, 'What's my son doing? Is he okay?' Right now he's sulking and walking off. 'Okay, dear, let him be, finish your work and eat. Take care of yourself,' she says, and hangs up the call. He relaxes and sleeps. The next day, for work, he travels to another state to meet a client and sell the company's products. He meets the client, sells all the related products, and as he's about to leave, his coworker calls him. He says, "Our company has been selling fake products, that's why the ratings are so low. That's why it went into losses. The government found out and shut the company down. So all this time our owner has been running a fraud. I just found out about this now. Don't come back here, and don't sell the products you carried to that client. That's it. You'll get caught," he warns. But before he can turn back, the client finds out the products he delivered were fake and starts chasing him. He runs and escapes from the client and finally ends up sitting quietly in a park. It's really tough. He's sitting there in pure frustration. On one side, we thought the job would last at least a month, but before that they shut the company down, and his girlfriend cheated on him like this. It's all really painful. He thinks, okay, yesterday she betrayed me right in front of my eyes. Still, let me talk to her, let me tell her I've forgiven her. So he texts her, I've forgiven you. Can we start fresh again? He sends this text to his girlfriend. She looks at it and replies, what are you forgiving? Look, I'm having a great time with my guy, she says, and despite him, she even sends an intimate photo of the two of them. Seeing that, anger flares up in him instantly. Since the phone was already hot in his hand, in his rage he hurls it across the park. Then he thinks, oh no, my phone, and starts searching through the bushes for it. So when he threw the phone in anger, a couple in the park had seen it. Realizing the boy had some trouble when he was searching, they joined in, found the phone, and handed it to him. They smile. When they ask what happened, he looks really sad. Sensing the boy is going through something tough, they call him over, take him to a restaurant, buy him some drinks and food, and ask him about it. That's when he opens up. He lost his job. My girlfriend betrayed me like this, he says, deeply upset. So the way out of a love failure, that older couple knows it well. They understand his feelings and then they drink along with him too. They got really, thoroughly drunk. Our guy especially got wasted. After that they say, hey, you've got no job, you're Korean too, right? Do you know what work we do? Now they tell him. Actually, what this couple does is, you know how back home we have spoken English and spoken Hindi classes. They run something like a tuition center for that, an institute that teaches foreign languages. They say, we really need a permanent Korean teacher. On top of that, you don't have a job. We'll pay you a good salary. Will you come to our tuition as a Korean teacher? He says okay in his drunken state. After that, he gets completely smashed. They let him stay at their house. When the drunkenness wears off in the morning, he wakes up and asks where they are. Then Grandpa reminds him about what happened and says, shall we go to our tuition to the spoken Korean class? He goes, what spoken Korean class? Yeah, didn't you tell us last night, have you forgotten? The grandpa reminds him. Oh no, I said I'd come as a teacher in my drunkenness, he thinks to himself. Look son, we've gathered a lot of people trusting you. You can't back out at the last minute now, that's it. Nothing can be done. Please come, we'll give you a good salary, they say. He has no other choice, no other job either. So he says fine, I'll come, and goes along. When he arrives, he finds a class like this. He feels a bit shy. So all these Japanese people are eager to learn Korean. Okay, he says, stands in front and picks up a marker. Then the lady next to him tells him what to do and hands it over. Looking at the book, he writes some things on the board. Then a girl wearing glasses keeps staring at him. This girl is the heroine of our story. Her name is Sakura. Sakura is very serious about learning Korean. The reason is, for her work, she needs to learn Korean within about a month or two. That's why she's come to this Korean class. But he's teaching a bit clumsily and awkwardly. The lesson he teaches doesn't make sense to them, so she glares at him a little. Seeing her glare, he gets scared. Then somehow he manages to get through the class. Afterwards, Grandpa and Granny usually sit at a bar and drink. They call him over, and as they sit and chat, they say, well, you managed the first class somehow, you carried it off well, and they talk. That's when he asks. A girl in the back row kept glaring at me. Who is she? Looking at her, I got really scared, he says. Then Granny says her name is Sakura. Sakura is very serious about learning Korean. Actually, she's a girl that Grandpa and Granny know, so they tell him about Sakura. Sakura is a girl who has gone through a lot of hardship. She lost her parents at a young age and grew up in her grandmother's care. Then she fell in love with someone and got married. As soon as the child was born, he deceived her and ran away. Now her child is about primary school age. The grandmother looks after both her granddaughter and the little boy. So she's a girl who struggles a lot. As a single parent looking after her child and her grandmother, she has to go to work. So she went for an interview at a company. It's a company that arranges international level tour, and she joined for a job like that. So her first language is naturally Japanese. When they asked if her second language was English or something else, she said in the heat of the moment that she knew a little Korean. Actually, she only likes Korean songs. She doesn't know how to speak Korean. But still, since she'd said that, they asked her to speak in Korean. Actually, none of the interviewers there knew Korean either. Thinking this is my chance, she just sang a Korean song as if she were speaking and bluffed her way through. They thought, oh, this girl knows Korean well. She speaks it, they said, and gave her the job. So she got the job, but fearing that one day she'd get caught, that they'd realize she doesn't actually know Korean, which would be a disaster, she decided to learn it in advance. So she's been studying Korean really hard. That's how she joined our class, they explain, Grandpa and Granny. So she's a girl we know, she's not one to get angry like that, they say, and chat away. When it cuts away, we see Sakura. Sakura really is a girl who struggles a lot. Her grandmother sends her off from there. Actually, she calls her son, gets him on the bicycle, and drops him at school. After dropping him off, she heads to her office. So even while traveling on the train, she listens to spoken Korean audio on an MP3 player like an iPod. She reads related books and takes notes, determined to learn Korean fast. She's that eager. When she gets to the office and does her usual work, her boss comes over and says, just like our travel agency, there's a famous travel agency in Korea too. Our two companies are going to sign a contract together. Koreans from that travel agency are coming to our office next month, coming to our company. There's a discussion meeting. You have to attend that meeting. You're the one who has to speak. Because you're the only one who knows Korean, he says. She just stares, asks, "What are you saying, sir?" He says, "Yeah, there's still a month," and casually walks off. She's stunned. "We only know a little Korean." She can't speak fluently. Okay, there's a month. Somehow she'll learn it in time. So now in class she's paying really close attention and taking notes. He teaches the lesson well, but the others are getting bored. Only our heroine is paying attention and taking notes. Seeing that, he's a little happy that at least one person out of all these is paying attention to his lesson. Then as usual she takes her son on the bicycle and drops him off, and look, even then she's listening to the Korean audio, with that MP3 player and the wired headphones. She gets to the office and is doing her work. Then the boss calls her in. When she goes in, it turns out the company coming for that meeting has sent an email in Korean. "Korean is your thing, right?" the boss says. "What does this say? Translate it for me a little." She just freezes. "Sir, I don't know how to read or write Korean." Only spoken she manages to cover. But still he says, "Fine, take this home and tell me tomorrow what it says," and hands it to her. Now these days we could just throw it into Google and translate. But back then big online translators weren't really known. So she brings it home, flips through a dictionary again and again, can't understand any of the meaning and gets really tense. Then her son comes and asks, "Mom, what happened?" And she says, "It's nothing, just a small task for Mom." She hugs him. After being tired all that time, seeing her son, she feels she has to do something. Because she needs this job permanently. So while wondering what to do, she remembers, "Oh, we have our class teacher," and goes to see him. As soon as she arrives, with that same scary, glaring look at him, he's gulping down noodles and just swallows hard. When he looks at her like, "What is it?" she says, "Sir, I need you to translate something for me," and hands over the paper. What's written on it is that the Korean travel agency is coming next month. And that there's a meeting. It's just an email like that. He explains it to her in detail. "Sir, within that 1 month I have to somehow speak fluently in front of them. If I mess up, I'll lose that job, sir. Somehow, please give me extra classes and teach me. I can't give you extra fees, but I'll pack and bring you lunch every day. Instead of eating from a shop at noon, I'll bring you food," she says like this. Even though he finds it a bit funny, telling himself she's a girl who's struggling, he says, "Okay, I'll teach you." He goes and tells Granny and Grandpa about this at the bar. They say, "Okay, fine, she's a struggling girl, teach her as much as you can. Let her keep her job permanently," they say. Then Grandpa, being a little drunk, says, "You're single too, and that poor girl is raising a kid alone, struggling. If you two were too." Granny tells him to be quiet. Seeing this, he seems to feel something. He even smiles. "You're interested too, aren't you? This girl is so pretty," the grandpa teases, egging him on in his drunken state. "Be quiet," Granny says. But it does look like he's taken a liking to our heroine. The next day, the two of them meet in a public place. Actually, teaching her in a private class within a month would be hard. Instead, walking around in public like this, chatting in Korean, learning the name of each object and taking notes about it. So this would be even better, a super idea. That's why they go area by area. Market, cricket ground, all around, and a nice closeness develops between them. So they get along really well as friends too. She used to call him sir, but now she casually calls him by his name. Then since she'd said she'd bring him food, bring him lunch, she brings a lot of food. She sits to the side and they eat together. The food tastes great. "Wow, just like my mom's cooking," he teases, "and it's all nice and warm." They walk through these market streets, go into a shop, and while shopping, both of them have the same taste. Naturally, they both pick a t-shirt of the exact same design. The two of them are on the same wavelength. While they're chatting like this, she gets a phone call. It's Granny calling to say the boy still hasn't come home from school. "I've looked everywhere. I don't know where he went, whether he got lost somewhere on the way to where he plays. Come quickly," she says. And it seems Granny has hurt her leg, so she has to rush off right away. "My son is lost. Granny told me this," she says, and leaves there in a real panic. Understanding the situation, he gets it too. Right away, he comes along behind her, gets in the taxi, and says, "I'm coming too, I'll help you." The two of them go to the house. After what Granny said, they search everywhere, the places he plays and the surrounding woods. But she's really panicked, scared. Because it's also starting to get dark. We don't know where he went, he understands all this. They search far and wide and finally find the boy and bring him home. So relaxed now, the boy is sleeping. Then she says, "Do you know how my heart was racing? When Granny said my son was missing, nothing else worked in my head. Because he is my whole world. If you hadn't come, that would have been it. You came like a god and saved him, brought him back," she says, thanking him. Granny also says, "Yeah, don't think it was just you. That's all. Searching and searching for him, my leg got hurt, and Granny has a bandage on her leg too. So you can understand from this just how much love they have for the boy." "Okay, I'm leaving," he says, getting up. Then Granny says, "Hey, it's gotten dark. Why don't you just stay here? I won't mind," she says. He thinks about it for a moment, you know. Then Granny says if you were married and your wife was waiting for you at home, you could think about staying. You're just single all alone, aren't you, she says, basically poking at him for being single. Granny, don't you have any sense of how to talk, she scolds her. Oh, did I say something so big, Granny says. Has he gotten married? No. Are you in love, Granny asks. He smiles and says, I was in love, Granny, but that girl betrayed me like this, and tells his story sadly. Oh, the poor thing, that girl did this to you, she says. And as she's about to say more, she realizes she knows that story too, so it's a little hard for her as well. Then he says, okay, Granny, I'm leaving. She comes along to see him off. Tell me more of your story, she says. So he tells her about the breakup, the lost job, all of it. Okay, leave all that aside. Tell me about your family in Korea, she keeps asking. Now he tells the whole story. Actually, he tells her about the problem between his father and him. I'm the only son in the family. My dad is a huge billionaire. He runs a massive company, tons of companies. After his time, I'm the one who's supposed to take charge of the company, he says. They piled a lot of responsibilities and burdens on me. I didn't like it. My passion was always music and dance, but my dad fiercely opposed that. Then I said I won't listen to what you say, got angry and left there and came here. When I came, I didn't know what to do. That's when I got this job as a sales agent. I did it for about a year. Then that job was gone too. He tells her all this and asks, what happened to your husband? And she says, both of us were in love and got married young, right? They had a child at a young age. But out of a fear that he couldn't handle the responsibility, my husband ran away from me. Ran away scared, she says, a little pained. But still, my duty is to give my son a good education and a good life as much as I can, she says, very determined. That's why she's chasing this job. That's why she's learning Korean to keep that job permanently. So they share their whole stories like this, and they sit and talk while she waits to put him on the bus. The bus comes. Before he leaves, he says, so when you go off to office work, in the evening I'll pick up your son myself. For that, you just bring me lunch as my fee, that's enough, he says. She asks, what are you saying? Yeah, I'll handle it. Don't worry about anything. Just focus on your work, he says, and leaves. So she develops a special feeling for him too. Then after she gets to work, she gets a notification. When she checks, he's taken a happy selfie with Granny and sent it. Seeing it, she can't help but smile. So I guess he's gelled really well with Granny. She takes the bicycle, goes to school, and picks up the boy. On the way back, they have fun playing around together. They chat about something fun. The little boy has really taken a liking to him. Even when he brings the boy home and drops him with Granny before leaving, the little boy doesn't want to part from him. That's how friendly the boy has gotten with him. After that, like usual, class goes well. Now everyone seems to be paying attention. And look at the t-shirt our hero wore today. It's the same t-shirt the two of them picked out together at the shop. He wears that t-shirt and shows her. She says, hey, that looks nice. So exchanging glances and talking, catching each other's eyes now and then, some things are clearly developing between them. Then he sits the group down for a small conversation test. Even in that, our heroine is the one who shines. She speaks Korean beautifully. Everyone agrees she does it best, and her improvement is coming along little by little, I think. Then since the time for her company meeting is really short, he gives her extra special lessons even at her home. Something is going on between the two of them, but it seems like they're holding back from showing it openly. And after that, in their free time, the three of them, joining the little boy, play together, and they have a wonderful, enjoyable vibe. So after coming here, there are little changes in his life. Life is going a bit happily, so he's cheerful. Then one night, his mom calls. It seems mom found out everything, that he lost his job, and that his girlfriend cheated on him and left. When he asks who told her, it turns out there was a guy who worked alongside him at the company. They somehow connected with him and asked. He told them everything. So now, where are you? What are you doing? Mom asks, very worried. Look, Mom, that day I told a bit of a lie, but now I'm truly happy. I have a good job, life is going really well, he says. Hey, thinking about you, our hearts are pounding here. Come back, Mom says. No matter how much she insists, he says I can't, hangs up the call. Then a certain thing comes to light. Actually, his dad has some incurable illness. He needs an operation. In his father's final days, Mom was thinking of somehow getting the son to come and handing over the business responsibility to him. That's why she'd come to talk to him like this. But while they were talking, he cut the call. Then what does the dad say? Don't tell him anything about my illness. Let him be happy. Actually, if you look, what he's regretting now is that once upon a time he too chased after this business money and ran around, so he couldn't fully look after his family. He couldn't enjoy a happy life either, and now he regrets it. Now, because he has all the comforts. Tons of money and wealth, but the illness has crippled us. I can't do anything now. So as long as I'm alive, let him be peaceful and happy there. If something happens to me, then call him, the dad says. Why are you talking like this? Mom says, hurt on one side. But not knowing any of this, our poor guy on the other side feels life is finally showing a little light. Life is going a bit happily. As usual, he comes to pick up our little boy. The little boy has scored well in a class test, so very happily he shows it to him, treating him like a father figure. Look at this, he says, showing it. He takes it and looks, and the teachers, when you score well, stick a sticker like this, I think. They stick it on. Seeing that, our guy looks and says, you scored well, and now an idea comes to him. He goes straight to the tuition center, and what does he do? He takes a laptop, and there was a cartoon rabbit on their t-shirts, you remember. He designs one like that. Granny and Grandpa come and tease him. Hey, what are you doing, they ask, and he covers it up. Actually, just like the little boy got a sticker at school as a compliment for scoring well. In the same way, he conducts a test here. When he corrects and hands back the test papers to everyone, only our heroine got a full score, and he sticks that cartoon rabbit sticker on it as a compliment. Seeing that, she's impressed. Look at the trick he's pulled, taking the idea from the kid to keep the mom alert and engaged. So after handing back all the papers, one girl notices the sticker business and asks, why does only she get a sticker? He says from now on in any test, whoever scores 100 out of 100, all of them will get this cartoon sticker as praise. So they all grab the stickers and say, oh, now we really want to study well for this, it's nice, and chat away. So it's a great idea of his. Then at the office, the boss gets a phone call. It's from Korea. They were supposed to come after a month, you know. They say they're coming tomorrow instead, and he comes very happily to tell her. Hey, they're coming tomorrow, get ready, they'll definitely come tomorrow, he says, and as he says it, he's very anxious. What are you saying, sir, tomorrow? She's stunned. Actually, she's been learning Korean little by little, she can understand a little, but how to speak fluently, that's what makes her really anxious. After telling our hero about this, the hero too is stunned, not knowing what to do now. Hero, Granny, Grandpa are at the usual bar, so Grandpa is really worried. What's he worried about? From now on that girl won't come to class, we'll be one person short, he says. Granny says, you fool, the poor girl will lose her job, we're worried about that. While Granny says this on one side and he's worried on the other, nobody can figure out what to do. That's when there's this partner of theirs. He used to work as a sound engineer before this. So he comes over with an earpiece. At that time, 10 years ago, that was a big deal as far as we knew. He gives one of those. He gives it, along with a small amplifier-like device that connects with it, and they fit it into the girl's ear, hidden. You have to be within a certain distance. He connects and speaks like this. So testing, who are you, where are you, he says, takes it and gives it to our heroine and sends her off. So all of their company people are sitting, waiting for the Koreans. At the same time, looking in the distance, there's his car, right? In that car, Grandpa, Granny, and our hero are sitting in the back with the device. So it's within this distance that they can connect to our earpiece, that is, to our heroine. So they're hidden in the car like that. So our hero has the headphones on, ready to translate for her. Granny and Grandpa are watching with binoculars like detectives, seeing who's coming and going. As they wait, the Korean man and his team arrive, and as soon as they sit down, our heroine's boss introduces her, saying this is the girl who knows Korean, she's the one who'll translate. She welcomes them. So since she knows a little Korean, she manages and welcomes them. Then their conversation begins. So he speaks in Japanese. Our heroine takes that and translates it into Korean. Now our hero is the one feeding her line by line, and she speaks superbly. No doubt arises. So even the Korean man is impressed, saying this girl speaks really well. Then, gazing at our heroine a bit fondly, he says, okay, let's talk about this meeting, this business in the evening. And using the bit of English they know, he manages to say, all of you go. I need to talk to this girl, he says. Why is he going to talk to this girl alone? Nobody understands. He probably wants to look around this area, they think. Fine, take care, don't let our important contract slip, they say, and everyone leaves. They watch and think, why did they leave her alone, and nobody understands. It's confusing. When you look, he takes her along to an aquarium and is looking around there. So they too, without being together, hide and follow them, tailing them. While they sit somewhere drinking coffee, he talks one by one, and from here our guy keeps feeding the translation, telling her what to say. Here a certain thing becomes clear. The Korean man is trying it on with our heroine, and our hero figures that out. He gets really furious. So to divert it, she tries saying things. Like this aquarium, I'd come here with my son. What son, are you married? He asks, shocked. Yes, I am, she says, trying to divert him, but he just won't let her go. He keeps coming on, calls her over, and takes her straight to a beach. They, as if he might find them, are hiding in the bushes, watching. As they walk and talk, what does he say actually? You look just like my first love. You look like my crush from when I was in school, he says all this. Watching all this, our hero gets super tense. Then quickly say you have to go home, your son is there, your granny is there, she's prompted to say. He tries to say it. But this topic just won't come up. He talks however he wants. The Korean we're speaking is too formal, he says, going on overly familiar. What is this, our guy thinks, we came for this and look what he's doing, and there's a fear on one side of losing the deal too. Finally he says, some documents related to your company are in my hotel room. Come and take them, he says. Okay, she says, trusting him, and goes. Behind them our car goes and follows and stops. He takes her to his hotel room. "Come in and take them," he says, sits her inside, and instead of bringing work documents he brings out a wine, sets up 2 glasses and comes and sits close beside her. "What is this? I don't want any of this. You said you'd bring some paperwork, some documents. Bring them and I'm leaving," she says. Now he tries something wrong. Suddenly she screams, "Look." Hearing this sound, our hero runs into the hotel to save her. He doesn't know which room they're in, but he keeps asking as he goes. The earpiece is in her ear. When he asks which room, what number, did she say the number? When he goes, the door's locked too. She keeps jumping from room to room, running. "Why are you chasing me like this? Leave me," she says, and he says, "You look like my crush, my first love. I never did anything to her. Out of that desire I have to be with you," he says, chasing her in a frenzy. He runs here and there, finally grabbing her like cornering a chicken. That's when he sees the earpiece in her ear and goes, "Oh ho, so this is how you were speaking Korean. So is there someone on the other side? Fine, whoever it is, what's it to us," he says, brings her onto the bed and tries to lunge at her, tries to do something wrong. Our hero too has found the room but can't open it. Then a service lady opens the next room. So he goes into that room, grabs the balcony and now climbs over onto this balcony. This door is locked too, but there's a banging sound. What's this sound, he thinks, and when the guy turns to look, at the balcony she lifts a jar and smashes it on his head, knocking him out, runs over and opens the door, and now our hero finally breathes again. "Did anything happen to you? Did he do anything?" he asks. "Nothing happened to me. Good thing you saved me," she says, and now she breathes again too. "Okay, come on," he says, and they run out of there, get in the car and leave. Now the next day, that's it, my job is gone, she thinks, and just then the boss comes. She's really anxious. "What happened yesterday? After you left, he said he doesn't want this contract and walked off," the boss says. She just stares, unable to answer, standing frozen. Then he says, "But you completed your work brilliantly. We never expected you'd speak and translate Korean this well, we couldn't even imagine it," and he praises her like this. Actually, the guy who behaved badly with our heroine can't openly say it, you see. The fault is on him. If he says it, his name gets ruined. His business gets a bad reputation too, so he just dropped the deal without saying a word and ran off back to his country. But the work she did has left them all amazed. "You completed his work brilliantly. We never expected you'd speak Korean this well, we couldn't even imagine you'd nail it like this. So we have a surprise for you, we're making your job permanent. And on top of that, we're giving you a promotion," the boss says. That's it, she's over the moon, so happy. Everyone praises her. From now on she has no worry about her job. She just needs to learn Korean and we can learn it easily. She has that confidence now, that's all. So to celebrate the promotion they got, they grandly celebrate at our usual bar. Songs, music, dance, it's all going on. When our hero dances like that, the two of them keep glancing at each other. There's love between the two of them. You'd think they might confess it here, but they just keep dancing. Importantly, if I should mention one thing, the bartender who gave the earpiece idea, he deserves the credit. Because if he hadn't given the idea, they'd have messed up. That's all, it would have been over. So after celebrating the party, they walk home. He's probably going to drop her at her house. So as they talk and walk, a closeness develops. So as if to confess their love, the two of them draw close and almost kiss. Just then Granny comes running from there, shouting, "Sakura, Sakura." Oh no, our guy gets startled. She comes and says, "Your husband has come back." Hearing this, she's stunned, and our hero too just stands there a bit stunned. Then the husband who'd been there comes with his bag and falls at her feet, sobbing like this. "Please forgive me, I shouldn't have left you. Leaving my child and you was wrong," he says, weeping and lamenting all this. "Forgive me," he sobs. Our hero is watching all this. He even hugs her. "I'll never leave you again. From now on you are what matters most," he says, talking like this. Look. She stands quietly. He sobs away. So I think she's accepted her husband back. The one breaking inside watching this is our guy. He just watches. He doesn't know what to do. As they came close, about to confess in each other's ears, suddenly a big thunderbolt has been dropped here and our guy is stunned. When it cuts, his grandpa and granny are very happy. They're really happy that Sakura's husband came back because that girl suffered so much, struggled so much all this time, and now her job is permanent. Her husband has come back too. Now this girl has finally gotten relief in her life. They talk like this. Actually, they would have casually questioned, "Okay, but he's still worried. Because this isn't his first love, it's his second love, and this one slipped away too, so he's worried." Just then someone calls again. When he checks who, it's Mom. Mom calls and says, "Dear, your dad isn't well, he's in serious condition. He's had this illness for many days. Dad told me to hide it from you. Now suddenly it's gotten like this, come quickly," she says, and he's shaken. Then without telling anyone here, he leaves and rushes off fast to Korea. He goes straight to the hospital to see his dad. His dad is lying there, unable to speak or breathe properly. He comes to Mom and asks, "Why did you never tell me this?" She says, "It was for your sake, dear, that man told me not to tell you. He said you shouldn't worry or feel troubled about him. Let him do whatever he wishes, he told me. All this time I was an obstacle to his wishes. But from now on, let him live his own life, that's what he wished for," she says. "After this illness came, your dad changed a lot. That's why he called you to come here. This very man kept saying don't tell him, right to the end, hiding his illness from you for your happiness, Mom says, lamenting and weeping in pain. He comes home and looks through his old things in the storeroom. That's when he finds some objects, the expressions of how much love his dad showed him when he was little, that affectionate care. He takes them out and looks. After learning the truth, only then do we go and kneel before our dad. Until then, Dad was like a hero to us. So that he wouldn't be hurt, that man hid his illness, and here you can understand his dad's love. So now there's a situation where he has to take over their company. When it cuts, almost 3 years have passed from here. Dad has passed away. Now in that place, he's the one in charge, looking after the company. So after finishing a meeting about it, they leave from a hotel there. Actually, I think this is his hotel. In that hotel, look, our heroine is standing there. And that too, from Japan, she's now in Korea. So in her job, I think she permanently works as a tour guide like that. She brings lots of people traveling, and to put them up, she's at this hotel arranging rooms. Then seeing our hero, she just stands there stunned. Now she's looking too. The two of them never expected this, and to meet standing face to face after coming all this distance. Then they sit and talk over coffee. So when you look at our heroine, in these 3 years she speaks Korean really well. You're speaking really fluently, he says. Well, you're the one who taught me. After that I gradually learned it well, she says. So okay, what's Granny doing, what's the boy doing? And what's your husband doing, he asks. The boy is doing well, Granny is doing well, my husband isn't with me, she says. When she says that and he asks what do you mean, he gets a little thrill. Yeah, that night the two of us were talking and walking back, right, that's when he came. So you would have seen too. He begged, accept me, forgive me. But I had no heart to accept him. When I was struggling alone with my child, suffering, I had no one to lean on for comfort. The very man who left me and my child to struggle, how could I take him back again and live in peace? So it won't work out. Leave, she says, I drove him away, she tells him. Hearing this, he's so happy. So why did you, who came without a word and left, she asks. Do you know I tried to reach you after you left? Do you know I tried to call you, she says, basically saying she missed him a lot and her words come through clearly. Okay, give me your phone number, he says, and she takes out her diary. As she takes it out to note it down, naturally, the stickers he'd given fall out. He sees them. Both of them reach to pick them up. You still have these, he asks, and a smile passes between the two of them. So from this it's clear she missed him a lot and was in love with him, and it's clear she still loves him. To put it right, that night the two of them should have kissed and confessed in each other's ears. But because her husband came, it couldn't be said. But look at fate, after 3 years like this, and meeting naturally across countries, they confess to each other and come together, and the film ends right here at this point. Okay, comment below how you found this story. And before you go watch the next video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.